Good evening. At war memorials in towns, villages and cities across the United Kingdom today, crowds fell silent to honour the sacrifice made by those who have given their lives in the service of their country. The King led the commemoration at the Cenotaph in Whitehall, where he was joined by both the Prince and Princess of Wales. Meanwhile, history was made in Belfast, where the First Minister, Michelle O'Neill, became the first senior Sinn Féin politician ever to take part in a Remembrance Sunday ceremony. Our royal editor, Chris Shipp, has this report.
He has led the nation before at this service, both as king and on behalf of his mother. King Charles did it again today, but this year without Queen Camilla. It meant on the balcony above the Cenotaph, the Princess of Wales was able to take part today, Kate's slow return from cancer treatment taking shape. But the Duchess of Edinburgh was her nearest neighbour, not the Queen. Camilla's virus prevented her from being at what is the most important entry in the royal calendar, remembering Britain's war dead at 11 o'clock. On Remembrance Sunday last year, the King had not been diagnosed with cancer, and nor did Kate know what her year ahead would be like. But this was a day for remembering the sacrifice of others in conflicts old and new. And after the King and Prince William had laid their wreaths, a new order of politicians. Keir Starmer here for the first time as Prime Minister, and Kemi Badenoch in her very new role as Leader of the Opposition. At the same time, in Belfast, another first. Michelle O'Neill, an Irish Republican committed to a united Ireland, choosing to lead the remembrance of British war dead. As First Minister, she wanted, she said, to move beyond old limits.
To be here to remember all those people that lost their lives in the horror of conflict, and it's okay to have different perspectives and different experiences of the past, but for me this is about the journey that we're on towards a shared future.
And in the UK's other capitals, the moment was also marked. Back at the Cenotaph, it was the turn for the many thousands of veterans to pay their respects. They had come for their own reasons, and many with their own battle injuries, both physical and mental.
There's no words can describe this. It's filling my heart with joy.
I have some mental health issues going on, which are always there in the background.
But for the King, there is no more important a duty than this one, remembering those who have died in the name of the country and of the monarch. Chris Shipp, ITV News.
And in Sydenham, there's been a triple shooting that's left one dead and two injured. The incident took place near Wells Park Road. No arrests have yet been made. Now, remembrance services have taken place across the capital today as hundreds gathered to honour those lost during conflict. Our reporter Anila Dami went along to a parade in Brixton that paid special tribute to the African and Caribbean community and a 98-year-old veteran called Gilbert Clark.
We all enjoyed it.
Gilbert Clark is recalling how he felt when he was told he'd be leaving Jamaica for Britain to help in the RAF.
And we honour them for their sacrifice.
Today, he's joining crowds of people in Brixton to remember those who fought in World War I and II and to shine a light on the contribution of the African and Caribbean community. His contribution, one he vividly remembers at the age of 98.
I look to the window and there's thousands and thousands of planes going towards Europe for D-Day. And we all shouted, give them hell, boys, or something a bit stronger.
Of the 17.3 million service personnel who served in both world wars, it's estimated that 2 million were drawn in from Africa and the Caribbean.
When you highlight the wonderful contributions of these people who had fought for our freedom and our liberty, and for all intents and purposes are not often recognised in these sort of public remembrance spaces, it's very important so we can get a full picture of all our contributions, and that's Africa, the Commonwealth, India, and all these wonderful unsung contributions.
Black British armed service personnel and cadets marched through Windrush Square, with those giving the marching orders saying this event is significant.
It's important that we take ownership of our shared histories so that we can help the current generation and future generations to understand that we've all played our part in making the world how it is now.
Wreaths were laid, there were speeches, and leaders from different religions came together to display unity.
Mixing of the sand, it cannot be separated. And that's how we come together in peace.
And Gilbert was honoured with balloons, as people here hope every part of the war's history and stories live on. Anila Dami, ITV News.